James here. Today is March 21st, 2015. So that makes me 7 months and 1 week on testosterone. It's been a pretty good month. Um, I got a haircut, so I got the sides like all shaved down. I'm growing out the top, and as you can see, I took care of my sideburns, which were getting they're like down to here and getting like really bushy. So the person that cut my hair, I had them like kind of take care of that, and I've been basically maintaining it since then, which is a lot easier than when I tried to initially trim them myself because that didn't work out too well. I feel like my face is continuing to like masculinize. I've got like an actual jawline now, which I totally love. And even though like I've still got some fat on my cheeks, that's just honestly until I lose weight, that's probably not going to change. So, and I've got so much going on in my life right now. I'm just going to be honest, it's not a priority for me. But the good thing is that I have like a lot more self-confidence, especially in the last month or so. I don't know where it's come from, but I'm starting to really feel good about the way that I look. And it's awesome. I feel like my shoulders are also like squaring out more, and my arms are like getting bigger. I'm not gonna try to flex and make a muscle because it would probably just be embarrassing. But I do have like bigger arms now. I don't know. I've been trying to do a lot of push-ups because I haven't been going to the gym lately, so they're kind of just like guilt push-ups. So yeah. So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm in a new place. I got my own apartment, so that's really cool. I moved in like 3 weeks ago now. Yeah, at the end of February. So it's really cool. I like living by myself. I didn't think that I was going to, but I totally love it. I just walk around shirtless all the time, and I don't have to pick up after somebody else, and I get to cook whatever I want to eat, and it's just generally pretty chill. So I like it. Uh, that doesn't really have anything to do with my physical changes. So I'm going to go back to that. So I know in the last video I said something about where I was starting to get some chest hairs, I think. I have actual chest hairs now. Um, they start like up here and kind of like go down, and like my little happy trail at the bottom of my belly is actually like joining up with my chest hair now in a really thin small line, but it is definitely there, so that's cool. Um, I don't know if my voice has gotten any deeper. I don't. I kind of doubt that it has. I think that I'm probably at the point where, besides like minor fluctuations, it's probably gonna kind of stay where it's at. I don't know. Like I've said before, I'm happy with where it's at, but I definitely wouldn't mind if it got deeper. So I don't know. I'm starting to really feel happy about the way that I look, and that's really a new feeling for me. It's awesome. I've never had a whole lot of self confidence even before I realized I was trans, and I thought that um, I was like cool with my facial structure and stuff. Like I just never really felt like I looked good, and I'm not gonna say that all of my self confidence comes from testosterone because I don't want to give that impression out to maybe any trans guys who haven't started T yet, who are wondering about that, because it's definitely not true. It has given me some confidence for sure, but a lot of it is I've just been working, externally on improving my self confidence and trying to feel more positive about myself. So it's kind of a dually caused thing. I don't know if that made any sense, but whatever. So, also, other stuff that I've been up to in my life, I've been trying to get a little more involved in activism. I went up to the Tennessee Capitol a few weeks ago and did like an Equality Day on the Hill thing, basically, where we went and talked to some of the senators and some of the representatives, excuse me, about some of the legislature that could, be affecting queer people when it comes up for a vote. So that was pretty cool. We got a chance to really talk to them, and it's like this way you can see, hey, I'm a trans person, and I'm here in person in front of you telling you how this is going to affect me. I feel like that's going to be more effective than doing it from a distance. So yeah, that was really cool. I've also been trying to get involved in other ways in my hometown here in Cookeville. So a couple of my friends and I got together about a month ago and came up with this idea for starting something here in Cookeville because it's a small town and there's really not a large trans community that has bonded together. That's not to say that there aren't trans people here, because there are, but I think that there are a lot more of us than the other trans people know about. So anyway, so we were throwing this idea around, and we decided like what we would want to do is come up with a group that kind of had a dual purpose. Like it would be for support, and it would also be for activism. Like when we decide that we want to start getting some I don't know how to say this. When we decide what we want, kind of like our uh, political agenda to be. I hate using the word agenda because I feel like people are going to be like, oh God, the transsexual agenda. But I really just mean obtaining basic, decent treatment, basic human rights. Nothing crazy. I mean, it's crazy to the Republicans. Okay, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, so yeah, we're coming up with some goals, and we had our first meeting tonight, so that was cool. We came up with the name Cumberland Gender Association. So it sounds fancy. We have a Facebook page. Look us up. And we have an email account that is a real thing that exists. So our first meeting tonight, we had 3 people, including myself. But we're trying to get the word out there, and we just announced this first meeting like a few days ago. So I feel like probably some of the people, well, I know that some of the people that wanted to come had scheduling conflicts and things that they couldn't work around. So anyway, our next meeting is in 2 weeks. So I'm going to make some phone calls and see if maybe we can get some flyers put up different places in town, and that way we can get the word out. So yeah, that's been happening. Um, I'm still working. I'm working like 32 hours a week, and I'm still going to school full time on top of this other stuff. And then I'm also involved just in like my general recovery. Because I don't know if I've ever talked about it on this channel before, but I'm a recovering addict. So I've been clean for almost a year now. So it's not really as much about me having the urge to use anymore as it is trying to develop some coping skills and cope with life like a person instead of just getting high. So anyway, that being said, I know that that's not really relevant to my transition, but fuck it, it's my YouTube channel. So that being said, it's really weird for me because I hear people, like I've had all these people telling me that I'm like an inspiration and shit, which is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but as a former dope dealer, I don't know. I never thought that I would be able to be in the place where I am now, where my mental health is improving and I'm starting to form like this really strong community, wonderful, supportive people around me. And honestly, I'm just really, really grateful that I am where I am. And I'm not gonna pretend that I've done it all, because I definitely haven't. I've had a lot of support, and I'm really, really grateful to everyone that's been there for me and that continues to be there for me as I'm going through all these changes in my life. I know I talked about my breakup, I guess either this last video or the video before that. I'm feeling better about that. I've had like a couple of months to process things, and honestly, like I get lonely sometimes, but I think where I am at this point in my life, because I have so much going on and because I'm working on like my self development, and I really want to take some time to focus on myself and kind of get to really know myself better and work on just continuing to improve myself before I decide to enter another relationship. So I'm not really looking for anything. Um, I mean, I guess if something developed with someone, I wouldn't try to stop it, but I also don't really see that happening at this point because I'm not pursuing anything. So, eh, I don't know. I'm cool with being alone, and it's like the first time in my life that I've ever felt that, which is a really empowering thing for me. But I think I've definitely talked more about my personal life than I have actual transition stuff. I'm still going through some shit with my workplace. I haven't really talked about that in detail because honestly, it's really emotionally overwhelming and exhausting for me, and I have to deal with it every single day at work. So I've been writing about it a little bit, but that's mostly private stuff for now. So I think that when the situation has fully developed and maybe a resolution has been reached, that I'll feel more comfortable sharing that with, I guess, the general public, we'll call it. All right, so I guess that's pretty much it for what's been up with me. But I'll see you guys next month.